Today I'll be making Pong and Scratch, but it's Sci-Fi. So the first thing I'm going to do here is make a little paddle for the game. And here you can see me just coloring that in. And then after coding, I duplicated it so both players can have a paddle. So here you can see me just testing that out. Next thing I need to add is a little ball. So here you can see me just coding that in. It's pretty simple, nothing special here. Follow along if you want to. So here's the code that will make it bounce off once it hits the paddle. So it's actually pretty simple. And that block just makes it bounce on the edge. Next, we're going to have the goal detectors. So what these are going to do is if the ball detects that it's touching these, it will score a point for the team. So you can make it into 2 sprites, or you can do what I'm doing here and make it into 1 sprite. It does take a bit more coding, but I think it's a bit more efficient and I like it that way. So the workaround for having 1 sprite only is if you're touching the goal and you're to the left of the screen, then you know that you're touching the left one, and if not, you're touching the right one. You can just see me testing that out and it works fine. Here you can see me just making it so that when the ball hits the goal, it waits before going back into the middle. Now that's phase 1 complete. Now it's time for the sci-fi parts of this project. First you can see me experimenting with the background. I'll change that later. Next is the ball. It's not the best right now, but when I add a trail, it'll make it look way better. You can just see me testing this out. Looks pretty well. Next, you can see I'm just coloring the paddles to make it match up with the team color. I'm going for like a bit of a sci-fi look, but it's not that easy, so I have to figure a bunch of things out. But after a while, I find this design that I think looks pretty cool, and change the outline and the inside. So now it's ready to be duplicated. So just change the outline one more time, and then I copy the outline again, I guess, and copy it. I'll change the color for the other side so it's blue. This actually does take a while because it's not as simple as just changing the colors. You have to change the brightness as well. But here you can see this working out pretty well. It's pretty cool. So the next thing I want to do is just change the background a bit because the background doesn't look so cool. So you can see me just experimenting with different themes and stuff. So the theme I went on to get was like this sort of underwater vibe, but still kind of space-based. So this is what I have. But next, I'm gonna make the trail for the ball so it looks a bit better. And this didn't take that long, but I had to experiment with the different settings to make it look better. So here the trail's like way too long. And then matching some settings, it looks better. And then I think I tweak it again, tweak the size so it looks smaller. Nope, I think that's it. Yeah, now I changed the difficulty, so now it's like way too fast, so it's way more difficult. Then we decided that was a bit too hard, so we changed that to 15 steps per move. So here after a while, I think we figured out that was way too hard. Yeah, now we changed that to 15. So now it's a bit more controllable, but still not as easy as when it was only moving by 10 each frame. Next, I'm just resetting some stuff. So once somebody gets a point, it does a bit of restarting. So I reset the paddles. And here you can see me test out the game as it is right now. And it looks pretty cool, but resetting isn't great, so you can just see me speeding up the footage. Also, I wanted to make the bounce animation a bit, bouncing off the paddles a bit better, so I added more variety so it could bounce different ways to make it more challenging. You can see me testing that out. The speed problem right now is that when somebody gets a point, it doesn't look that good. So I think the next thing we're gonna do is make a score effect, which wasn't that easy actually, because you can see we had some bugs where the ball just gets super large and stay that way. So after a bit of bug fixing, we got something that looks pretty cool. But I decided that it wasn't quite flashy enough, so after a bit more coding and experimenting, we come up with something that looks a bit cooler. So bit more coding, a bit more tweaking. This is the effect we get, which looks pretty cool. Because even just doing some more playtesting to make sure that really feels good. And now just make it so it waits before going back to the middle, so you can have some time to react. Just put that in this function or my block to make it simpler to understand. Here you can see me trying to figure out how to get a flashing effect, but that didn't work out so well. So what I'll do is I'll actually replace this with my block or function block and just repeat that a bunch of times so it looks cleaner and simpler to use. So I don't know when I'll realize, but yeah, I think, now I decide that I should make a flashing thing and have a delay. So if you don't know how to use my blocks, you should totally learn how to use them. They're super useful for projects like these, or just any projects whatsoever. So now the code is a lot more concise. You can see me just tweaking the variables until it looks right. And this is sped up so it doesn't quite look like what it actually looked like. But this is what I got. And I think that looked pretty cool. I changed the settings a bit to see if I could perfect it. After a while, this is what I got, and I think it looks pretty cool. It's actually pretty surprising how long you can go without good panels, just to be honest. But here's like the little play test we did, just to see how well it actually worked. And the next thing we're actually going to do is make a score, the score counter. So instead of using the variables, which to be honest don't look that good, I'm actually going to switch that with a mini text engine. Well, not really text engine, it's only for numbers. It's like way simpler than any other one you would find. It's only limited to 1 digit, but it's actually pretty simple. And here you can see me just copying and pasting simple code, and then boom, we have a nice little score counter. And the score counter actually looks pretty decent compared to the normal variable detector. I think now you can just see the final game that we did. Actually no, we changed things a bit just to add a little end effect. It doesn't work out that well, but it's still pretty cool, I guess. So I changed the things a bit, so now you can tell who wins at the end, and it also stops the project after somebody gets 10 points. So I made a little thumbnail as well. I cut that part out because it's not that interesting. Just literally took a screenshot. And then here is the final game. I had a match with my brother, and then yeah, that's the final project. As always, link will be in the description to the project. And till next time, have a great day. Bye.